And good afternoon, Port Jervis, and welcome to the Port Connects podcast. My name is Andrew Arata, host of the podcast. Happy Friday, happy summer, and excited to kick off a show here on a Friday. It's been a while since we've had a show, and I am excited to introduce class of 21 Port Jervis graduate Rey Torres III.
Indeed.
Ray, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Ray was one of my students. You're not allowed to have favorite students, so I won't say that Reyes was one of my favorite students. He is a fine young man. Shout out to his family, his younger brother George, and excited to have Ray. Ray, before we jump in, I got a couple commercials I got to do. Is that okay?
That's fine.
I know the time you got some places to go.
It's all good.
Quick commercial. Open house, grand opening for East Main Elementary, the new school here, the refurbished middle school. Ray did a lot of work over there this summer, getting it ready. That is Saturday, August 31st. The grand opening, 1 p.m. It was scheduled at 10. We had to move some things around. We did lose Mr. Hoppy and the services, etc. So the grand opening is going to be at 1 p.m. on Saturday, August 31st. If you're watching the show live, jump in and say hello. But enough for the commercial, enough chit chat. I want to welcome Ray into the program. How are you, my friend?
Doing great.
You just worked all day
Yes,
here in the school district, ran home, cleaned up, and here you are. Cool. Heading back to school soon.
Yes. Next
Okay.
Saturday.
Well, Ray, introduce yourself and tell us, you're rising senior, Alfred University, but introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
Rey Torres III, class of 21, like Ms. Murata said. Currently heading into my senior year over at Alfred University. I'm going for my bachelor's degree in athletic training. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did you know going into Alfred that you wanted to be athletic training? Did you have that when you went in?
100%.
And you stayed with it?
Yes, I have.
Oh, very good. A lot of kids, they don't know, they're changing their mind. Okay.
Yes.
Well, Ray, let's take it back to Port Jervis. Again, you were an excellent student. I wrote in the description, an excellent student, an excellent athlete, but your personality, your smile, you were like a magnet, just bringing people in. Talk to me about your experience at Port. Did you have a good experience in your 4 years?
Yeah, I did. I loved Port. Everywhere I go, people ask me, where are you from? I say, oh, this little town, Port Jervis, New York. They're like, where is that? Always tell them, right in the corner in New York, PA and Jersey. Yeah. They're like, where is that? Just told you,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it here. I love the small town. I love the community and everything in it.
Yeah. And in school, Ray, again, you were popular, you were good looking, there was a lot of things going for you. Was school easy for you? Or was it something you had to grind at?
It was more so easy because I made it easy for myself. So
in what way? That's a great statement you just said. In what way?
Always applying myself to the fullest in the classroom, even in sports, but always applying myself. If I had questions, made sure to take that extra couple minutes. So, hey, what's going on? Like, I'm having a hard time understanding this. Always ask those questions. That's what made it easy for me.
When you got home, was mom and dad saying, Ray, you go do your homework, Ray, get your stuff for practice, or were you just banging it out?
Nope, never. Always ready. Always prepared for practice. Always prepared for school. Just making sure that, setting myself up to make sure that I was ready no matter what.
What are some things that stand out to you, Ray? You look back, your 4 years of high school. You could even go back to middle school at ASK. What are some things that stand out to you?
Definitely how close I was able to get with my peers and having the great teachers I had all throughout all my years of school, actually. But never had a bad experience with any teachers, nothing like that. It just always felt like I knew who I had as a teacher, and I was never worried about the fact of not succeeding.
Yeah. Well, that's a real good statement there, right? You knew who you had. You might be able to talk and laugh in this person's class, but in this person's class, I gotta be straightened out. It's very smart, very perceptive. There, he knew who he had, right? You gotta know your audience. Yeah. Okay. Events, Ray, trips, things like that stood out that you remember.
Definitely back in elementary school, going on the Broadway trips with Miss Halpenny.
Okay. You remember what shows you saw?
We saw Matilda.
You
I remember one
that.
year we watched Matilda.
And that was the play this year,
Was it?
either this year or last year. Yeah, I think it was this year. Yeah. Oh, I know. We interviewed Matilda on the program. You remember that? Yeah.
But there's that, and then the 8th grade trip over to Dorney, along with the DC trip.
Mm-hmm.
DC trip. Both of those trips were great. 8th grade, and then in high school, just athletics more than anything else.
Yeah. You've referenced Coach Traharski in some of the pre-show notes. Good bond with him. You played football 4 years?
All 4 years.
Okay. What, you on the defensive line, I remember, right?
Yes, I was defensive. So freshman, sophomore year, I actually played linebacker.
Yeah.
But after injuries freshman and sophomore year, I decided to switch it up a little bit. Talked to Coach Traharski, talked to Coach Stellato, and I was able to make the move to D-line, and that was that.
Yeah. You didn't play offense?
Little bit here and there. Freshman, sophomore year-ish, I played halfback and fullback. And then senior year, I was actually incorporated into the tight ends.
Okay.
A little bit here and there.
Coach Traharski's been on a heck of a run, Port Jervis football. Shout out there. But you were kind of part of that. You winning back-to-back championships. Were they the first of the street?
First two.
So was Traharski in his first year? That wasn't his first year.
And second year. Yep.
Wow. So your junior year
was
his first year, and you guys won back-to-back championships. Yep. Wow. What was that like with that change and a kind of a new era in Port football? What was that like to be part of it?
It was exciting. It's great to be able to know that I was a part of this history, or this long history of excellence in the Port Jervis football history, you know? And winning that first championship, it was like, wow, we wanted to go to the Dome. We wanted to play. We wanted to play up in Syracuse. Almost.
Yeah.
But then coming back senior year, especially during COVID and not being able to have a state championship, we didn't even know if we were going to have a season because everything was getting pushed back and pushed back. We never really knew. So I know me, along with some of my teammates, we knew that once we got that green light to play, we needed to come back with the same intensity that we had junior year.
Your senior year was the full year of COVID.
Yes.
So you played football in the spring?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
It's all a blur. It's all a blur. If you're watching the show, jump in and say hello. Mr. Toto saying hello. Mr. Carter saying hello on the program. Ray, tell me about Straharski's influence. Tell me about some of the adults that had an impact on you. And some of the things, was it things they said, the things they did? Tell me about some of those things.
Definitely with Coach Traharski. He held us accountable for everything that we did. We knew that even if you were in the halls, you were part of that football team. You knew not to be goofing off. You knew that when you were in class, you were in class. At the end of the day, that's when we went and we had some fun down on the field. You know, that's the time to be able to have some fun, but also be focused up, get ready for whatever game we had that week.
Ray, I always felt like there was a supervisory, like a maturity among you, right? If I had a group of kids, I say, hey man, I gotta step out and do something. Ray, keep an eye on it. I don't know. It just felt like there was a maturity there with you and a lot of the guys around you. But there was a trust that you would have fun, you would, kind of be a kid, but I don't know, you just had a different maturity there. Would you say that's from your parents? Where would you say you had that or you got that from?
I'd say it was from my parents.
Yeah. Your dad, Ray, served on the school board. Your mom involved in a lot of activities here. So, your dad just tuned in here now. Yeah, they were dogs. Yeah, I think there was somebody barking on the sideline, Mr. Torres, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Ray, tell me about the decision to go on to before we get to Alfred, any other adults that really impacted you that you remember?
Definitely you, just walking through the hallways, always seeing you around, smile on your face, always asking me, making sure everything's okay, all right, what's going on, just always checking in.
I like that. Yeah, good. Shout out. Ray, earning some points here on the program. I appreciate that. I remember your announcement. You had the Port Jervis jacket buttoned up, and you said, like, shh, taking my talents to Alfred University. Tell me about that decision. You had a chance to play 2 sports in college. You're returning for your senior year. But tell me about that decision to choose Alfred.
So in high school, I played baseball and football, but because of how COVID was and everything, I decided to step away from baseball because I felt like it would have been too much for my own body to jump back and forth just right between baseball, right into football.
We were playing at the same time?
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost there. I want to say there was like 2 weeks of that rest period, maybe so, in between baseball and football. And I knew that baseball, yeah, it was fun. It's been the sport I loved playing ever since I was younger, but I felt like I had a better shot at playing football at the collegiate level. And so after being accepted into Alfred, I decided to reach out to the football coach and let him know, like, hey, here's my film and everything. And this is when we were actually in season. So I want to say it was the week of the Bell game, actually. Week of the Bell game, the coach reached out to me that was recruiting from our area. He was like, hey, listen, we like what we see. And you know what? How about you come up on a visit? So
you went up there?
Went up there, and I fell in love with the place.
Okay. Passed the mom test. Mom signed off on it?
Mom didn't even come on the visit at first.
Really?
Dad did. Yep. It was just me and Dad.
Wow,
took a
that's
little
a lot of trust there, Mr. Torres. Yeah. But then eventually Mom signed off on it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Ray, it's cold up there.
Yeah.
It's cold. Does it
winters.
bother you? Like, does it get to you up there in the cold? Or you just used to it
by now? By now, I'm used to it. I went out, got myself a good jacket, a couple good pair of sweats and boots. I'm set.
Okay. So you started out playing football and baseball?
No.
No.
So I went up freshman year, played football, realized that I was beginning to struggle academically.
Okay.
And I've never been that kid to, so I made the decision not to go back into the football team for my sophomore year.
Okay.
Took the year off, got my academics back up, finished with a significantly higher GPA, and then sophomore year spring, I heard that we had a club baseball team. Put some feelers out, what's going on with this? They're like, hey, yeah, listen, come on, try out. Tried out, played a couple of games in the spring with them, and then after that, this last year, we actually turned into a varsity sport.
NCAA Division III.
NCAA D3.
Wow, it was the first season they had it?
First season.
Wow.
First season, first team.
Interesting. So you were on the team?
Indeed.
Wow. And you'll go back for your senior year playing baseball?
Yeah.
Wow. How do you get the hair under the hat? How do you
just slick it back?
You're not putting a hole and the bun through it? No, you're going slick back.
Slick back.
You got the hair looking good, man.
Thank you.
Wow. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Ray, a lot of kids, school doesn't come easy. You just shared, right? Hey, I knew I had to step away from football, probably a very physically demanding thing. What were some of the changes that you made to be able to dial back on your academics, to be able to kind of get it back? What were some things that you changed that were as an improvement for you?
Ultimately, like I said, I had to step away from football. That's an extracurricular. I'm a student athlete. I've said that since I was younger, Yeah, I might play a sport here and there, but at the time, I'm a student athlete. I'm here to make sure I got my grades straight. I got my priorities in the right places, So then from there, once I decided to step away from football, I had so much more time instead of going to mandatory team lifts and practices and all this extra things that there were nights I wasn't going to sleep till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, getting home from practice, doing all homework, getting ready for tests. It was a lot to handle, especially as a freshman in college. 100% it was. Being able to take that shift from, high school, okay, yeah. But then college, that's a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
So being able to recognize that I needed to get my priorities straight, it was a hard choice ultimately, but I knew it was for the better.
So you have time where you go into the library, where you're setting a schedule. I like to use a timer here. I keep my timer here, where you're saying, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to work on this for 60 minutes, right? What were some things physically that you did differently?
I went to,
in addition to just having the time.
Yeah.
A lot of kids got time.
Yeah.
They don't do better at school. Yeah.
I got you. I went to more like out of class study sessions, with the TAs up at college. They're great. You know, you have questions. There's students that have already taken the class. So they'll go, you have a question, you don't understand something, and they'll sit down with you and they'll help you get through it. So
Yeah. I like it's the second time you said about asking questions.
Mhm.
You don't get something, you ask a question. So many kids are afraid. They don't say anything, you know.
gotta ask the question.
Yeah. But you have confidence. You have that kids think they're gonna, feel stupid. They go, oh, I don't know the answer. Nobody knows the answer. You're the guy that we're all thanking for asking the question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just just ask, even if you're afraid to go ask that question in front of a full class or something like that. Wait the extra 30 seconds so the class clears out, and then you just go up and ask.
Wow, look, wise beyond your years, Ray. You're on the doorstep going to your senior year, athletic training major. You're on the sidelines with a lot of sports. You're seeing struggles with athletes. You're preventative. What are some things that you've learned over your 3 years in this major, and what are you looking forward to with it?
Gotcha. It's been a lot. It has, but it's something that I knew what I was getting into. So obviously needing to learn the entire musculoskeletal system of a human, the healing processes, all these therapeutic different modalities that you can use to help speed up those processes, and all the preventative measures that you can go through, like different tape jobs, different bracing techniques, all these different things, and how each athlete might not have a cookie cutter approach on helping them get better. So you need to take each individual as themselves and then try to help them get better.
Right, you're in the training room. The kids are heading out to practice. You got 10 people here.
Yeah.
You're taping this one. You're taping. How do you got to move quick?
You do.
Practice
Exactly.
starting.
Yeah.
You got to be fast. Yeah. Is the head trainer there like pushing you, or you doing it on your own? What's the culture in the training room like?
So up at Alfred, we have a great staff. Right now, we have, I want to say, 5 athletic trainers on staff,
Wow.
and each one covers a different sport. So every semester up at college, I have observation hours that I need to accomplish. And working with the baseball team, I can't work with the baseball team because I'm on the team, obviously, but working football, basketball, volleyball, equestrian, softball, just needing to know that each person individually and how each trainer goes about their different methods. You need to know that.
Mm.
It's knowing who you're working with and knowing like what the expectations are.
Yeah, even again, right, kind of seeing what's around them, adjusting to that skill there, Ray. So where do you want to go with this, Ray? Do you want to be in a college? Do you want to be in the pros? Where do you want to go with this?
I've ultimately determined that I would like to be a high school level athletic trainer.
Okay.
Because like myself being, I struggled with injuries my first 2 years of high school, and knowing that our AT here, Miss Kathy, she was the best.
She's the best.
She was the best.
She was part-time back then.
Yes.
Yeah. And now she's full-time.
Really?
Full-time. Yeah. Port Jervis,
Right.
She was an outside contractor
Mhm.
previously. Now that is a position here. And more high schools are having full-time trainers. Yeah.
That's great.
Okay. So you want to land back in high school. All right. Miss Kathy, let's see about when that retirement date is. Ray, getting it. But no, Miss Kathy has made a tremendous impact. And I think she's made, again, maybe you looking at what she was doing to help these young athletes kind of build those relationships. Because it's not just about putting tape on the ankle.
Nope.
Yeah. There's a trust. There's a communication. It's almost like the barber, right? They're doing more than cutting your hair. Yeah. Some communication. Cool. Ray, anything else you want to talk about we haven't talked about yet?
No. Other than just, if you have the questions, make sure you ask them. You got to set yourself up for the success that you can have for yourself.
Mm-hmm. If you're watching live, you want to ask a question out here for Ray, please do that as well. But again, going into senior year, Ray, did you love school? Are you like, oh my God, this is great senior year, I can't wait for it to end? Or is it kind of like, all right, I'm looking forward to finishing here? Where are you at?
I'd say it's bittersweet because over the last 3 years, I've learned to really enjoy my classmates and the preceptors, the trainers that I work with. And now they've set me up for the best possibility I have to hopefully become an athletic trainer. So
I like what you said here. One of our pre-show questions are, what would you tell yourself now if looking back at yourself in high school or middle school? And I loved your answer. I would tell myself to enjoy it, not rush growing up, enjoy the simplicity of it all.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Going through elementary school, always looking for that next step. Oh, middle school is coming. I got 2 more years till middle school. And middle school rolled around. And then it's like after a blink of an eye, I'm a freshman in high school. And then those 4 years, they flew by. It was, looking back in retrospect now, it's like, wow, there's days I even look at some of my buddies at college, I'm like, wow, I miss high school, man. I want to go back. I want to go play some football with my coach, my guys, just don't rush it. You got to enjoy the moment.
Yeah. You're always looking for, like you said, you're always looking at that next thing, but realizing, wow, this is such a special time. And again, you coming in with Straharsky there and the turnaround of the football, just an incredible time there. And you did get a little robbed of I remember doing the dances in the parking lot. Yeah. I had to draw the chalk lines in the parking lot. You guys were busting out of it, but we had to dance in the parking lot there. So, those were good times. Mom got a question here. Ask about the time during a baseball game and his teammate got hurt there.
Yeah. So we were playing over at our neighboring college, Hobart.
Oh yeah.
That's where we played our home games because we don't have the facilities at Alfred.
Yeah.
So the trainer that we have, she was new to the school this year, and working with her in the AT room and everything, it felt like I was her extra set of hands, even at games if she didn't have the help. So one day we're playing, I don't remember who we were playing, but our catcher, he was going out to get ready to go catch before the inning, but the bottom of the inning when we were about to go take the field, and one of my other teammates was unaware that he was behind him, took a practice swing on the bat. Yeah, caught him on the hairline, give or take, with his bat. It was a full practice. He did not have his helmet. Yeah, he did not. So at that moment, I didn't care if I was in the game or not. I was playing second base, and I didn't care. At that time, I was an athletic training student.
Yeah.
I wasn't on the baseball team. So jumped right into action, jumped over, got the med kit from my trainer. We would always joke before games, like, you know where my bag is, you know where the AED is. If you need it, if I need it, you got to hop in. I said, wow, don't worry about it. But yeah, middle of the game, my teammate got hurt. It was a complete accident, and it was just shocking for everyone.
Yeah.
So
had to have a concussion, right?
I think he did.
Yeah. Baseball bat, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Training and second base. Yeah. Saving ground balls and saving teams.
Yeah.
Ray, again, getting your hands dirty, working hard. You were back this summer working in our grounds department, cutting grass, driving the trucks. He was out here, a pain in the neck job. The weeds growing up between the cracks in the asphalt with the shovel one morning. But there's a lot you could learn from those jobs. What would you say you learned being back here, seeing the people, maybe seeing some former teachers? We were late for the program because he's talking to 12 people on the way into the office. I couldn't get him in here like a celebrity. Well, what'd you learn now being back here with a different set of lenses on?
Grateful. 100% grateful for the buildings and ground staff and the custodians of the hard work that they did that I honestly didn't even notice when I was in school.
Yeah.
But being here every morning, putting in the work all day, and going around and making these properties in these buildings just look as good as they did.
Yeah. And it's a special time now, too, with all the stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a rush here the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I used to leave at night, and I'd walk through the football locker room like, oh, my God, the smell, stuff laying around. And then I'd come in the next morning, and it was like spotless, beautiful, clean, smelling fresh. They do an amazing job, our guys there, and really kind of the heroes behind, I would say, the classroom, right? Yeah. They make the building run. And but you early mornings, you hot days.
Hot days, early mornings, yeah.
You learned a lot.
Yeah.
Cool. But will next summer look different now that once you graduate? Like, will you be looking for an athletic training job? Will you be certified, or you got to go more school?
So actually, right now, the athletic training overview, pretty much the profession, I want to say, is making a switch from being a normal undergrad into needing a master's degree.
Yeah.
So, but with how they've decided to make this switch, there's like being grandfathered in.
Mm-hmm.
So since I'm just going for my undergrad, I will be able to take my BOC test in March, I believe. And then if I pass that, then I'm certified.
Wow. So you'll be eligible for a job next year?
Yeah.
Wow. Orange
Fingers
County,
crossed.
watch out.
Fingers crossed.
Watch out. We'll get to help you get that word out. And then again, let's see how things shake out here or anywhere. We've had a lot of our Port kids land somewhere else, and they've loved it, and they've stayed. We've had other Port kids land other places, and then when the timing was right, they wanted to come back. So wherever that is, Ray, let's see, what would happen there. So, Ray, again, your family, always at the events, always supportive, very involved in the school. What would you say to your family, again, looking back at the support they offer? What would you say to your family as you're growing up into this young man on the doorstep of your senior year in college?
I just have to show nothing but love for them. I have to be appreciative of everything that they've done, the sacrifices that they've made to keep me in the sports, to help me succeed in class and everything. I will forever love them for everything that they've done for me.
Yeah. And those skills that we talked about, knowing your audience, we're kind of reading the room, asking questions, smiling. I mean, the smile, those are not, those don't happen by accident. Those are things that people showed you and trained you, and beautiful to see. And certainly, Ray, you're going places, to be able to talk to kids like you do and connect and converse and all of that. You're going places. And we knew that when you were a student. Yeah. Awesome. Well, this is Rey Torres, everyone. This was a lot of fun. He's literally going to get the moving van and going to get ready for his senior year. So it's an exciting time. Ray, what would you tell our student athletes here in Port Jervis, 6th, 7th, 8th graders? What would you tell them? Hey, I want to play in college, or hey, I want to chase this dream. What would you say?
Put in the work when no one's watching. Have to take that extra hour and a half on a Saturday or 2 hours. Go lift some weights. Go run. Go do conditioning. Just got to make sure that, and also if it's football, make sure you know your plays. Study that playbook.
A lot of plays out there. I know one of the things that Port Jervis football did was to keep it simple. We had a small set of plays that we just ran really well.
Yep.
Yeah. Ray, you had an intensity too. Nice guy on, smiling, but when you crossed onto the line, it was like, oh my God, who is this person?
It's game time.
There was an intensity there that served us as the Raiders, but I think it served you too in your performance. Yeah. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ray, so our last question here. You did great here on the podcast. A lot of people tuning in. If you're watching it on record, please leave Ray a comment. Port Pride is bursting, Ray. It's booming here. We're thrilled with what's going on. What does Port Pride mean to you?
So in school, being a part of all the clubs that I was, Athletes Helping Athletes, the Rotary Club, National Junior Honor Society in middle school, and eventually becoming a member of the National Honor Society in high school, I knew that at any moment in the community, when I was wearing the red and black PJ, I knew that at that moment I was resembling what it meant to be a part of Port Jervis. I wanted to do my best, make sure that anything that I did was living up to the potential that PJ means.
Yeah.
So just always making sure that anything that had my name on it, it was from Port Jervis.
Yeah. And being the third, your father's legacy and your family's legacy continues there. So he carried that certainly with a lot of pride and continues to do so today. A lot of people wrote, wow, what a nice young man. And it's true, Ray. So we're proud of you. If we can help you, Coach Traharski, your teachers here, if we can help you, you know where we are. And who knows? Let's see what the future holds and the expanding of Port Jervis sports. There's chatter of a pool in our community. That's more athletics. That's more kids. Lacrosse has been thrown out there as well. So a lot of things happening, and we'll see what the future holds. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Rey Torres, everyone, class of 21. You will be class of 25. Not Alfred State, Alfred University, the purple. What's the nickname?
Purple and gold.
What's the nickname?
Saxons.
Saxton. What's a Saxton?
Saxon.
Yeah, what is it?
English, like, putting me on the spot here.
Yeah.
It's I want to say it was an English warrior back in the day. I think.
Okay. Yeah. Raiders,
Some sort of
Warriors,
knight,
you know,
some
you
sort of
know.
a knight.
Yeah. I saw the logo with the thing shining
Yeah.
through there. Yeah. Cool. Well, we're going to sign off. Ray's literally going to get the moving truck to get back to school. We appreciate a few minutes today. Thanks for your work this summer. It does make a difference, and every little bit is helping us get ready for that opening of school. So, all right.
All right.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Again, if you're watching the show on record, leave Ray a comment. Again, another commercial. Our open house is Saturday, August 31st, 1 p.m. at East Main Elementary. The community is welcome. The building's going to be open. There's a ceremony at 1, and then the building's going to be open. Music, all that kind of stuff going on. Also, our friend Braden Ross, his community concert is coming up next Wednesday. Braden was on the summer talking about it. Community concert next Wednesday. I think the date is the 21st. Was Ross with you? What year was he?
Braden, I want to say he was a year after me.
After, yeah. COVID kind of going away there. So, all right, we're going to sign off. Ray, thanks so much, man. Good luck your senior year. We appreciate it. And great job here on the podcast. Ray, can I get a go port?
Go Port.
See you, everybody.